vetting of candidates for the position of Chief Justice kicked off this morning at the Supreme Court in Nairobi, with the first of 10 candidates, High Court Judge Chitembwe Said Juma, facing the Judicial Service Commission. The Nairobi-based judge says should he rise to the office of the Chief Justice, he would prioritize clearing of the backlog of cases through instituting quarterly reviews of all pending court cases. Justice Chitembwe further says he plans to develop a catalogue of court orders which have been disobeyed as a way to reinforce the authority of the judiciary as an autonomous arm of the government. Well, our reporter Leila Mohammed is at the Supreme Court and is now joining us live with more details. Leila?
Well, Justice Said Juma Chitembwe is continuing with his account of how best he will be able to lead the judiciary as the head of this institution, the third arm of government. He says he cannot do this without the help of the other arms of government, especially the executive, which is run by the head of state. He says he will reach out if need be in various circumstances where he's been asked on the question of the 41 judges issue, which his predecessor, in case he gets the job, David Maraga, spoke very deeply about insisting that it was the prerogative of the head of state to grant them this wish. However, he says as much as there was this back and forth over the matter, he would reach out to President Uhuru Kenyatta and deal with this matter amicably and take the numbers that he's given and to ensure that the issue of backlog within the entire judiciary is fixed. He was also asked on the number of judges with one of the members of the JSC, saying that it's not the number of judges who is the problem, it's how they execute those cases. He says there are several issues that fail this court system: the issue of finances, the issue of the ICT system, which currently is an issue within the sector because of COVID-19 restrictions that force many of them to go digital. In terms of there's an issue in terms of how this can be fairly executed when all judges need to be online. There are issues of connectivity, and that also takes a lot of time. According to him, he feels that court cases should ideally take 2 years, whether it's a murder case or a civil case, can take even shorter, a few months. He says an appeal case should take ideally a year so that justice can be dispensed of as fast as possible. Coming from a person who has been on the other side of the bench, on either side as a suspect and as a judge of as an officer of the judiciary, he says that he's seen the best, the worst, and the ugly of the judicial system, and this brought him to tears. Kindly let's just listen in into how he believes how he was affected as a suspect within the court system can really shape how he becomes the next Chief Justice of Kenya.
If an accused comes before you and raises his hand, hear him.
Just take your time, Honorable Judge.
It's good you have asked some of these questions. Okay, I know what people have to be prosecuted. That is the mandate of the DPP. But as you sit as a judicial officer, you should be able to sift out what has been brought for serving other purposes and what has been genuinely brought as a court case. And I'll give an example, like granting bail. I can't understand why a court will take a whole month to grant bail or deny bail. You'd rather even deny so that this party can go to another court.
Zainab, the whole issue of him wanting to become the next J is currently ongoing. He, however, has been hit by cobwebs of past judgments that he's made, issues to deal with defilement, the age of consent, and how he was able to execute and communicate those judgments. He's been able to say, I stick to my words, I stick to my communication. There's a difference between the line of how the law perceives to be accepted and the things on the ground. Those are some of the key issues that he will be looking into the GSC to look at, not in terms of how he executed those particular court cases, but he wants them to see him as a man who looks at a more holistic view of life. He expects to bring in a lot of years of service in the judiciary. He says his degrees in various sectors will enable him to be able to be a wholesome Chief Justice. He believes he can do the job, and when he finishes, he will have to wait then for another 9 individuals to be interviewed in the same process for him to know his fate, whether he's gotten the seat of the CJ or not.
All right, Leila Mohammed there at the Supreme Court side, Chitembwe Justice side, Chitembwe's day in front of the Judicial Service Commission. Tomorrow, we do have Professor Kameri Mbote will also get her chance, and later on Wednesday, Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome will also appear before the Commission. We'll be bringing you the live updates. And